Welcome to the Coast to Coast podcast, brought to you by Play Picks and the Lines. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined by my guy Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we got a little 6-game Tuesday night slate here for you guys. In this one, taking a look at the Dubs, headed to Minnesota, taking on the Timberwolves, who feel like they've been playing every single night since the All-Star break. The feisty Wolves definitely playing very well right now. So we'll take a look at some of the best bets and player props in here for you. Just like Nate does have his great article up on playpicks.com as well, with some best bets and player props in there for you. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page and check out those other couple videos we've got for you today, including that player props one. Make sure to check out thelines.com as well. Make sure you're getting all the best bets, as we've got that odds checker for you, checking out all of the different odds makers offerings for you guys. Make sure you're getting the best value on your bets out there. And as always, if you do still need a FanDuel or DraftKings account, head to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com and find those listings in your area, such as what we've got for tonight. Nate, let's get into it.
Yeah, this opened as a pick'em here with the Warriors at Minnesota. Wolves on a back-to-back once again. And Golden State a little extra rest. The total has fluctuated now between 234 down to 231 and going back up the other way as people attack that over. Obviously, these teams have, the Wolves particularly have a reputation for some shootouts, and they just got to 250 nearly with the Cavs last night, which is, popping some eyebrows, and I'm sure drawing some of that money. There are 5 other games here on Tuesday night. Let's run through the lines quickly. Pistons +3 at the Wizards. The Hawks are +7 at the Celtics, and that total's rising too. It's at 227. Celtics, the way they play defense, should be able to bounce back from a loss and hold that under, but we'll see. Nets are +9 at Toronto. Those teams just played last night. Brooklyn probably missing another key piece with Andre Drummond limping off the floor. The Clippers are -7 at the Rockets, total of 230 there. And then the other game we break down is Mavs -5.5 at the Lakers with a total of 216. Warriors, they have a rest advantage here. That's where I start. Certainly the Wolves are now playing their 4th game since the All-Star break, 2nd back-to-back, and we attacked them on the first back-to-back there as they hosted Philly, and they just got blowed out, which, has been the norm for them. And despite being a young team, they cannot win on back-to-backs this year, 3-7 straight up and against the spread. Right now, they were elite in terms of their three-point defense, but in their last 3 now, allowing the 3rd highest percentage, 40%, and 3rd most threes, despite playing Memphis, Cleveland, and Philadelphia, 3 of the worst three-point shooting teams, or teams that just don't even try to shoot from 3 for the most part. I see everybody attacking this over, which makes sense. The Wolves have gone over in 7 of their last 9, have gone over in 5 straight with the Warriors, but home road splits need to be addressed with this team once again. Not only on the back-to-back where they're not as efficient, but at home they score just 109 points per game versus 116. Their defensive rating is 10 points better. They hold opponents to 107 points per game. Their true shooting percentage in their last 6 game sample size here, 6 on the road, 3rd in true shooting, 6 at home, 23rd in true shooting. Defensive rating, 8 points better in that smaller sample size. The Warriors playing without Clay, their defense has been better without Clay this season. A lot of that has to do with the early part where they had Draymond Green out there. But he's not. Let's be clear. He's not back to full Clay all defense mode. Right? It's not like you're going to lose a lot throwing Damian Lee out there on the defensive end, but you will lose a lot on the offensive end without Clay attacking this 3-point defense that's struggling. The Warriors have been reliable going under on the road. They're 12-5 straight up with this rest advantage. They're also 12-5 to the under with a rest advantage. Those games going under by an average of 7.5 points per game. Dubs won 4 of their last 6 roadies, getting back to that defense, number 11 defensive rating in that span, allowing 108 points per game, scorching from 3, 16.5 triples at a 39% clip. And the last thing to look at is, of course, how Steph performs against this opponent. His last 3 against Minnesota, 30 points per game, 5 triples, 41% from deep. The Warriors lost by 20 in Minnesota because Steph was not out there.
Right.
But then 11 days later, beat the Wolves, shooting 58% from deep as a team. while holding Minnesota to 22%. So I like the Warriors to win because of this rest advantage. I also like the under. I understand if there's some trepidation there with the way the Wolves play right now, but I have no problem combining the two and just taking Minnesota, Golden State and that under.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the difference in those home road splits. I think that's where you start. I think that's where we find the value that leads us to want to take that under, right? I mean, it's really about the difference in what Minnesota does on defense and offense at home, right? I mean, at home, scoring 8 less points per game, I believe you mentioned, and giving up a bunch more as well, or about the same amount. So, a bunch less as well. So giving up about 111 at home, games averaging about 220, right? On the road, right, we see them score 117 points a game, giving up about 117 as well. So those 234 totals on the road are super unsurprising. But, at home, in that tendency to go under by, their defense improves, their offense is worse. And it's the same trend for Golden State on the road, right? At home, they score 5 more points a game. They give up only 102 points a game at home. On the road, we're talking they average about 108, giving up 106, right? So we're talking about a team that two teams that it's under City in this case. I think 234 is a wonderful total to feel good about the under, because I think that's what obviously Vegas is getting ahead of the fact that not only do have the Wolves put up these huge numbers at home, but the Golden State Steph is back. To be honest, I mean, he is back. It's the other guys around him right now that obviously are causing this sort of drop in offensive ability for this team. And I think you look at tonight, a guy that I'm sure we'll talk about in player props. Andrew Wiggins is a guy that I would eye because he's so crucial to what they've done, but he's been bad lately, right? He's failed to score 20 points. He's only scored 20 points once in his last 8 outings, which is not good for them when he's supposed to be their second scorer with Clay out, and really their second banana with Draymond out, needing him to do a lot more than he's doing. His rebounds are a little bit down, and assists as well. But this is a great moment for a get right game as well, similar to the way that Steph missed that game against the Wolves, and then comes back and they win the next one with him scoring a bunch of points. Same concept here for Wiggins. I think this is going to be a bit of a get right game for him, enough for them to be able to pull this one out, because I do like the Dubs in this one as well. I mean, he scored at least 19 points against the Timberwolves in 5 of his last 6 meetings against them. Curry, right, has actually 36 plus in his last 3 road appearances in Minnesota. So we know what I think we feel good about what he's going to do tonight. And it's really just a matter of, is the rest of the team going to come with him? But the fact that the rest of the team has not come with him yet is also why I like the under. So, similar to what we were talking about in that Lakers-Mavs game, where I think Luka's going to not necessarily have his best game of the season, but they're still going to win. I think that even if the Dubs come out and don't have all of their offensive weapons around them with Steph to handle this game, I still think on defense that they're going to be in a good position to be able to pull this one out as well, and then also lead me to think that this game is going to be a slightly slower pace than is expected, and there's going to be less points scored than expected as well. So yeah, I think everything here points definitely towards that under. I think we both feel good about Golden State because of specifically because of how well they've played on their road as of late, and the fact that Minnesota has felt like they've essentially played every single night since this All-Star break, and I don't think that this is a ripe setting. Just like you mentioned, second leg of a back-to-back, just got blown out by 30 plus to the 76ers after beating Memphis. Had a great win against the Cavs last night, a very formidable team in the East, and I just don't think I think the same trend continues tonight, where they I don't know if it's going to be a blowout, but I think this is going to be a Dubs win that they control the game for the entirety of it, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, they could run away. You look at the Warriors were in a weird funk going into, for really a couple months going into the All-Star break, and seemed refreshed coming out after that Steph show in the All-Star break. They go for 132 in Portland with a 131 offensive rating as a team, 94 defense rating against a Portland team that was pretty tough. I think you're getting value now because then they follow that up with a dud against Dallas, at least from the offensive side, because, Dallas and Golden State, actually Dallas has their number really for a few seasons now. Yeah. And they have the number 3 3-point defense recently, which we talked about in that Lakers video. That's exactly why they can slow down the Warriors. It's a completely different matchup tonight, where the Warriors are able to do what they want in terms of playing off Steph and letting Steph get his. And I like the under more because Karl Anthony Towns got his in that win, but D'Angelo Russell and Anthony Edwards both had awful games, and the Wolves won because there was no Steph out there. But they have, especially D. Russ, right, has terrible numbers against his former team. when he goes back up against them. Damian Lee and the boys know how to defend him, it appears. So if those two guards aren't scorching from deep, then the Wolves are not getting to that 120 mark that basically we're expecting. If you like the over here, it's going to be much more of a low scoring game, much more of a grind it out, and that's why like the under as much as I like the Warriors here. Either one works for me.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're not going to score quite, as what you're used to at home when the Dubs do come into town. Their defense does come in, lock up well enough. And the opponent field goal percentage is still down by about 43% for them. So, there's plenty to like here. Like you said, D'Lo not playing well against those Warriors, that weird blip on the radar in his career when he was there. So, I think everything here. And like I said, Andrew Wiggins get right game as well to get back to about 20 points that he's used to on the season. So, that is all the time we have for you in this one. Make sure you are liked and subscribed to that page and check out those other couple videos we've got for you on this 6-game slate. And until we see you next, happy betting.